Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for listening and joining in. I've got myself, Sonny Pabuaya, and we have John Kraft hosting this. And we have our special guest, Sharon Bruno. And we will be talking to her about fitness, health, and she's got some awesome products coming out soon. And I would highly recommend that you listen to this lady because she's done it, been there, wrote the book, and experienced it all, rather than saying, this is what I learned, just do it. She's actually doing it from experience. Yeah. And still, the best part about her is that she's still learning. She's still wanting more and to better herself so that she can better family, friends, and all the listeners that we have. So again, let's give ourselves a big hand for our special guest, Sharon Bruno.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. You know that I love you guys. Always fun to do this.
Likewise.
And all of us post a lot of inspirational tidbits almost daily, right?
Yes.
And the amount of thanks that you receive, right? You all notice, and it's just everyone's listening, everyone's watching, and I'm a big advocate on continual learning. Absolutely, Sonny. You're always going to empty your cup and just keep filling it, right?
Absolutely. It's like one of my mentors always told me is that if you're not progressing or if you're not learning, you're dying. So we got to keep moving forward, and we got to keep growing and progressing and learning. Absolutely.
Well, was that Shawshank the best line? Better start living, or just get used to dying, or it's like such a great line. Yeah,
absolutely. So we this is our second interview with you, and it's such an honor because we had a great response from people who listened and watched it, and just messaged me directly as well, asking certain questions. And so is it okay if I ask you some of the questions that were asked?
What kind of questions?
What kind of questions? Oh.
The best kind of questions.
I'm here, I'm open, let's go. Absolutely.
All right. Well, one of the first questions that someone wrote to me was, you must have a daily routine or a daily habit, because your habit and routine is the results that you get from what you've done, right? So is there a specific routine or habit that you do in the morning, evening, or workouts or something like that? Some people would like to know about like daily habits, as well as maybe is there sort of like an actual routine that you set on a weekly or monthly session kind of thing for like workouts as well?
I'm extremely methodical, always have been. And yes, I do have a routine, unless I'm in travel, which isn't that much these days. Back in, at the height of my career, I was always on an airplane. So you kind of make your schedule around your day, right? But right now, on an average, my schedule is first thing I get up, I, have my coffee, check all my emails, make my phone calls, and then I take my power walk, I come back, I work out. Of course, I have my breakfast first, and do my workouts and stuff, and then I do more emails. And because I'm involved, I'm trying to launch a couple of businesses and working on the website, which, if I can fit myself into a green screen, depends on my crew, who's because everyone's like pitching in. It's not like I'm paying for a studio to do this for me. So, gonna work around each other. But on an average, I'll wake up, have my coffee, check my emails, get the business out of the way, have my breakfast, which is usually oatmeal and egg whites. I still eat the same as when I was, back in the day prepping for competition, not for pre-contest. But I eat clean and healthy, and then I go for the power walk, come back, fit in a quick workout, do more business, hop in the shower, then I'm off to meetings. And I come back, more business on the computer. So once everything starts to roll, right,
Yes.
then that will change. But that's pretty much my day. Yeah.
Okay.
But I
So
always, it doesn't matter. Say if I have a meeting or I have to fly out of town, whatever, I
yeah.
always get my workout in, always. So if I don't get it first thing and say I fly into California next week or I need to fly next month or whatever, right? I'll fit it in when I can. I always make a point to get the workout in, period. Even if it's a quickie, like, you know, I posted, I think it was last Wednesday. I got a quickie in today. It was hump day, so everyone was like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, always something.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. Well, that is actually a great sign of a successful person, because you have to be disciplined on the things that need to be done, especially if on days that you can make an easy excuse by going, well, I'm traveling, I got nowhere to do my workout, but you do it anyway. So that is terrific.
Well, and your habits are what makes you, right?
Absolutely.
You know, what you put out there. I mean, even today I posted I just like to post out to remind people, you know, again, you know, I got my workout in, you know, 59, never too late. Never too young, never too late, you know, whatever, just fit it in. And I think like yourselves, through your martial arts training, any athlete, right? You know that it takes a lot of discipline, and then later on, as we do it for years, it's like breathing. It's just like you know, a second form. It's like the natural habit. It's just something that, you know, it's just normal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like myself personally, as soon as I wake up, when I wake up in the morning, as I roll off the bed, I have to do some push-ups right away. I do a minimum of 20 push-ups, and sometimes I'll do a little bit more just to get my body moving. And then after that, I go have my water, and then I do the rest of the things that I need to do. But as soon as I get off the bed, I have to do at least something physical, like push-ups or squats.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very important that we have to keep our bodies moving, right? If you what's that saying? If you don't use it, you lose it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and it's more important as we age, right? We're all getting up there, you know, we all do, it's inevitable. I was asked a question via on my Facebook feed from a young lady that you know, she says she's around my age. I'm 59, so she goes, I'm around your age. Don't you miss all that muscle? For one, don't you miss all your muscle? And how is it harder to keep it on as you age, or like if you lose it, is it hard to get it back? So to answer all those in one, no, I don't miss all the muscle. I was blessed, and there was a day, you know, when you're an athlete, you're in your prime, I was focused, and I was like, you know, absolutely, that was, and then later on I was paid to, I was under contract. But I mean, that was my focus then. And, you know, I loved everything that was blessed with that came along with the sport. But I mean, I carried that muscle in order to compete, right? That was for my sport. So I like being a woman. And for me, I'm very tall, always lean, not saying that women can't carry muscles and be feminine. I mean, you know, I put on a lot of muscles, and there's a lot of my gorgeous fitness sisters that are competing, and, you know, the sports evolved to bigger, better, more fabulous, always sexy. But for me, it just thought it was almost like, okay, I gotta take that suit off now, and, you know, it's so much easier not to carry that much muscle, because, you know, I was constantly eating. You got it, you know, it's like eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train. You talk about a routine, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Train. So, you know, I took it as far as I could and wanted to. And again, like our last podcast I mentioned, then other opportunities opened up. So I would never stop training, which I did for a bit. Wasn't good, as I explained. I went through a life challenge and a major loss, and being up emotionally, and, you know, depression and stuff. But I bounced back in, so never, you can get it back. But I'm sure if I wanted to get all the muscle back, I could, right? But as we age, again, we face sarcopenia, and, you know, naturally, you know, our bodies start to lose muscle in collagen,
Yes.
and we get us, the bone, everything becomes less and denser and everything else, but you can still stay in shape.
Yes.
So I don't miss all the muscle. I loved it in the day, worked hard for it. Right now, I'm being fit. I work out for what I want, right? That's me,
Yeah.
And it's never too late. And yes, it's harder as we get older because I just explained the muscles will start to, not atrophy. Atrophy is a different thing than sarcopenia.
Yes.
Explained before, but it's called aging, right?
Yes.
But I feel pretty good for my age and what I've been through, and bouncing back, and it's an adage to your routine. The day you got to make your daily commitment to your workout program, whatever it may be. A dojo or a gym or a gymnasium or running or whatever, right? But yeah, I mean, you just got to keep training. This is why, while we're on the subject, because my friend here, Richard Webb, who's in the corner here, the lower corner below me here, Richard Webb had approached me over a Facebook feed. I noticed his name throughout the feeds before, right? And I was like, okay, we never met him before. And I have so many people on all of my feeds. It's hard to, sometimes I'll remember a name if you're constantly, approaching me. So he said he wrote a book. Oh, I would love for you to write the foreword, Like, well, okay. And I have not just myself, but a lot of us get approached by everyone. Hey, can you promote this and that? Which is awesome, I love that, right?
Yep.
I'm honored that people want to reach out. So I said, well, send me a book. No. But he was so passionate about it. So instead of saying, you know what, I am writing my own, I will be launching my own by the end of this year or next year, right? Because everyone's like, you gotta write your books and training things. So I'm thinking, but this guy's so passionate about it. He's such a sweetheart. So he sent me his book. I read through it, and I'm like, okay, what's your story? Okay. And I'll let Richard tell a story, just real short, Richard, about why he wanted. This is a man, he's around our age. He's a father, single dad, got full-time, worker, and he decided to do a Muscle Beach show. So he got in shape, he dieted down, put some muscle on, everything else, and he loved it so much that he wrote a book about it. Nice. He's a pro. He hadn't done this for years, but he got in shape. And what he learned, and he's thinking, hey, if I can do it, I got to share it. This is what I love, when people share and motivate each other. And so he writes his book. So I'm like, yeah, I'd love to work with you because I love your passion. And I love the fact that it's like, hey, if I can do it, so can you, right?
Absolutely.
Basic, simple read. For anyone who's watching right now, basic, simple read is what I liked about it. It's clean, it's to the point, no pills, no magic wands, and it's like, yes, that's all it is. Keep it simple.
Yep. That's exactly it. There's no such thing as a magic wand.
Kudos, Richard.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit of your story, Richard, about...
Well, so it started off thanks. I'd be glad to tell you. I'll make it short. So I'm still very good friends with a couple of guys that I knew from junior high school. And we would get together every March and go travel. And this particular time we were 43 years old, and we were in the Tampa Bay airport. And one of my buddies, Ruben, decided that, you know what, we're 43, we need to challenge ourselves before we get out of shape, right?
Yeah.
So the two decided what the other one was going to do. And so they told me, I had lifted all my life. I'd been in decent shape. And they said, you need to, by the next year, by the next time we get together, you need to compete in a bodybuilding contest. And I thought, wow, that's going to be hard to do. But the other two, we gave them challenges too, and then the loser had to.
Have you been training, Richard, at all? Like, have you known anything about bodybuilding shows or anything?
Well, so I guess the reason I did that is because I did actually compete in a contest back when I was 22. Okay. But I don't really count that. But I didn't do well, and I didn't like the vibe, so I didn't do it anymore. But so anyway. what was interesting, the reason that I wrote the book was that I ended up competing in a natural show in Costa Mesa, California, called the West Coast Naturals, something like that. And I didn't do well. I liked what I liked what I put out on stage. I didn't have a coach or anything. I did it all based on my research and everything. But I placed 12 out of 12 in 40 to 49-year-old men. But you know what? That first contest, I agreed with where they placed me. I didn't have any problem with that. But I really liked being on stage, because when you're on stage, you know, Sharon, you kind of feel invincible. I mean, it's almost that, right? but I thought, well, I was spending 16 hours a week in the gym, and I couldn't do that again if I was going to compete. So because I had a full-time job, I had 2 kids that were under 8 years old. So you know, and working full-time in technology. So I did a lot of research. I took 3 years off. I did a lot of research, and came up with a way that I can get the same or better results with 4 hours a week working out. So that was what I'm selling is time, right? Because I mean, where can you buy time? So that's my elevator pitch, is that you can get 16 and a half hours of results working out with only 4 hours of effort.
Loved about his story is that he started late. He's 49, right?
Yep.
Show. And again, and going back to what he's saying about time, you know, people's like, oh my God, you must spend hours in the gym, you know, because I mean, when got quite muscular, right? How long that takes is hours. It's like, no, the point of bodybuilding or building muscle is like, you want to stimulate the growth. You don't want to beat yourself up. Because then you're going to set yourself into a state of like you're going to burn your muscle off if you train too hard, too much. And then I find people don't eat enough while they're training. So you shouldn't be spending any more than 45 minutes a day in the gym. That's with cardio included, right?
Okay.
I mean, Charles Glass used to beat me up and go tennis when I was prepping for one of the Miss Olympias. And because he had so many clients anyway, he fit everybody in. So I'd show up at 4 a.m. He would place me with another girl, Carmen Brady at the time, and she was prepping for the USA's, I think, that year. And so he paced us together, but it didn't matter what body part. I mean, I was like crawling out of the gym. It was just like, wow. But within, you know, half hour, 25 minutes. You know, just like ripped you through. There's no rest. There's no, you know, just, but the point is, it doesn't take a lot of hours in the gym. You just want to stimulate growth, and then you fuel that growth, right? But anyway, it's a great book. So,
no, that's terrific. Actually, it's pretty funny that you're talking about this book, Sharon, because me and my wife, last night we watched a bodybuilding competition that one of our friend is in, and it got her excited about maybe doing a competition, because a while back ago she did the fitness competition, you know, where you have to do a routine and then do the pose, which is a tough competition. Exactly. And then myself personally, being 54 or turning 54 this next month coming up, I got excited too. I'm like, I see the guys who are 50 and over, and I'm going, I can do that. I've never done it, but I'm actually considering it. So I'll definitely have to get that book, Richard. And if anything, I'm going to have to get you to sign it for me, because then I can attest to it too as well.
I'd be happy.
Never too late. And I love seeing you. It's about motivating and lifting each other. I love this.
Yep. Exactly. And
all right, well, we're going to hold you to it, Sonny. You and your wife.
It's karma. So Sharon, can I hire you to personally train me and my wife?
Absolutely. We'll talk later.
Oh, we'll definitely have to talk. Yes, absolutely. That would be terrific. Well, one of the next questions that I got, Sharon, was what was it again? It was about eating. Okay. I know we kind of touched about it last time about when there's a difference between how you eat for pre-competition and day of competition and after competition. Should someone who's serious about, I guess, getting into competition, they should hire somebody to give them a plan to follow, or is it something that they can learn and do themselves?
I mean, you could, it helps to have somebody that's been through it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And like we were talking about last time, now this is important again. So I'm glad, let's hit on this each time because thanks to the internet, we're just lavished with information.
Absolutely.
So if you're new into the game and, you know, like you just asked me to help you because I've been through it, right? Years of professional bodybuilding on stage at the Olympias, the Arnolds. Okay, so you know I've done it.
Yes.
But then you have the people that did a show, whether it be fitness bodybuilding, and now they're going to teach everyone else how to do it, right? Which is good because they've been through it. But they're still learning too. You got to be careful what information is out there. So if you know of somebody, you know, you look at their credentials and everything else. I mean, there's just an array of personal trainers on IG and Facebook, right? So it's like people I've never heard of, but I look at it like good for them. You know, they know this stuff. You know, the biggest thing though, it's good to have somebody and talk to them because that have been through it. Because personally, and I find this a lot with my fellow competitors, right? And in the day and or even now, or when I was beginning, the biggest thing is the hardest, I should say, and the most intricate, if you want to put muscle on or condition yourself properly for a sport, is nutrition. It's how and what you eat and how often, right? How you balance out your macros, everything else, right? That's the most important. 90% of your achievements will be through nutrition. You can sit in the gym for 14 hours a day if you want, which I'm not saying you should, right? Like you just need like the most an hour a day, if that, right? But it's nutrition. So yes, for bodybuilding, right? And or the fitness shows like your wife wants to do. It's the same training, fitness, physique, bikini. What else is there? Anyway, it's all bodybuilding because you got to go in the gym and build the body to a certain level for what's needed for whatever class you're entering. So in order to grow through that, like you stimulate it in the gym and then you grow through nourishing yourself, amounts of protein and what have you. When I tell people, you know, that are starting this pre-contest, so on, you know, you're training up to about 10 to 2 weeks out of the show date. That entire time, get into the gym daily, at least 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off, whatever split you want, and get used to eating. You gotta eat, right? So the more you do, the more you eat. The less you do, the less you eat. It's just that simple. You gotta make sure you're giving the body enough protein. Then pre-contest, there's a certain, you know, some people like to carb deplete, some sodium deplete, whatever. But then you get really intricate where it's like, you got like no sodium, no sugar, you're eating no fat, right? And then after show, then you slowly go into a normal eating program, like normally eating, right? But because your body's been so depleted for so long, right? But yeah, like usually about 3 months, depending on your weight, level of physique that you have, whether if you're pro, amateur, whatever. And the level of body fat that it's okay to put body fat on the off season because you still need fat, right?
Yes.
It's essential for your organs and everything. But, you know, you start to pre-contest dieting. So about 3 months out, then you start to watch your, you know, no sugar, you know, watch your fats, you know, watch your sodium, and you just start to tone it in real strict, and you slowly pick it up so you can eat normal again. All about nutrition. Yeah.
Oh. Absolutely. Wow. No, I totally agree because what you put in is what you get out, right? You gotta make sure you put the right food to nourish those muscles to grow and repair and get better and bigger.
Well, it's a lot to learn because I know my first show, again, I was trained by a lady who owned a Gold's Gym in Canada, and actually Calgary that year, Calgary, Alberta. And I was always, like I said, tall and thin, right? And, I worked hard. I was working hard. It's like, God, how come I'm not, I'm just meant to be skinny, right? And she goes, well, you should do a show. Your frame, you got the frame for it, and I see you working hard. And I had a tone. I look like a jazzercise girl, right?
Yeah.
And so the same thing you just said. What do you eat? Let's get you started. You already have a train. You're doing the proper. What's your diet like? What do you mean? Well, okay, write down what you eat. So I think I was eating twice a day, and if I was lucky, I might go out and have chicken parmesan or like a protein. But normally it's like in the morning, oatmeal, just oatmeal, and at night maybe pasta, right? Well, where's your protein? What do you mean? What's that? No wonder you're so skinny, Yeah, I mean, she changed my life. That's where it started, and she gave me this nutrition program. Let's just get you eating properly first. Forget the weights.
Yes.
I mean, don't step into the gym because you're just burning muscle. You're not getting enough calories or you're not getting any protein, And oh my God, I mean, every 3 hours she had me eating. And it was hard to do because I'm just like, oh, I can't eat anymore, right? And, normally now I look back at that and like, shit, I could eat all that for breakfast, but it was that hard because I had to train my body, right? And then before you know it, once the metabolism really started burning and then I was growing more muscle and putting more food, I was always starving. So nutrition is 90% of it. Absolutely. Learn that before you step into a gym.
So would you recommend, should we start with the bulk up, or should you just still watch what you eat and grow? What would you recommend?
Because you're putting on muscle, you're trying to put on muscle, right?
Yes.
Well, muscle needs protein, and of course, macronutrients. You need healthy carbs and fibers. And just consider the bulk up, and I wouldn't be too. Now, this is too concerned about healthy fats. Don't go out and just bulk up on hamburgers and lasagna and that, because you're going to put on a lot of fat, right? You got to weigh up your calories and what you're doing. So absolutely, you've got to eat, but it's still got to be somewhat clean. It doesn't have to be strict like bodybuilding, right? But I mean, get in, and then you'll have more energy, and you'll notice that you're filling out more, and then you're feeding the muscle growth. So, it's all about, on the off season, it's called bulking, bulk up, but it's feeding the muscle. So you're, especially for me, because I'm long and lean. So it took a lot of eating and calories. For my first show, and if you look at my very first competition photos, and I won that show, but there's only 4 of us in, and the amateurs, right? And but I stuck to what Roberta told me, and I had my little abs and little muscles hanging out and stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, but it was a huge change from where I began the year before. It takes time. You got to be patient. It doesn't happen yesterday. But it is very simple. It's about, you got to eat, train. And I know I hate saying this, but it's the truth. You got to sleep as much as you can. People are like, what's that? I don't I don't have time. I don't have time to do all that. Neither did I. I used to bartend and waitress at night at a strip club in Vancouver when I was hitting my pro levels. I mean, a 14-hour day, you're on your feet, all that. Still got my training, my diet, everything, It's like, it depends on how bad you want it, right? But
of course.
You got to feed yourself.
Well, with the dieting or what you put in, sometimes it's tough to get all of that protein. So I guess you would recommend to take supplements, or
I took digestive enzymes because, especially if you're not used to it, a lot of protein, it can bind you up, and be careful because you got to weigh it out as per your body weight, right? I mean, put it this way, the current Miss Olympia, who's fabulous, right? She's
absolutely
muscular
wow.
Amazon, just gorgeous. Well, she's going to eat tons more protein than I am at these days, right?
Yes.
You know, I don't weigh myself. It messes with my head. I just look at myself in the mirror. But the day I did all that, it was important when I was competing to weigh myself maybe twice a month just to see where I'm okay, I'm putting muscle on. That's great, you know. But I don't need that much protein, because if you have too much protein, like anything else, too much of a good thing can harm you. You know,
Absolutely.
if you're ingesting way too much protein, you start losing hair. You know, because the body is just like doesn't know. You know, it's just like eating a lot of fat, right? Most of it's fat. So you got to measure out, but the protein is important if you want to grow muscle. Right? But and again, like the calorie intake, as I keep saying, the more you do, the heavier you lift, whatever, right? The more muscle you carry. That's why you see these big guys, like, you know, like the, the men. I used to travel across the world, you know, with the leader athletes and the guys. They could sit there like Sonny Schmidt. I remember, you know, R.I.P. Sonny, he's passed away, but he was popular in the 90s and fabulous physique. Not just Sonny, but the reason why he's standing out right now, we're all sitting around, he's having breakfast, and he had like 4 plates of eggs and pancakes and chicken, and 4 plates, you know, holy wow.
He's good at it.
But he had a lot of muscle, like all the guys could, right? See Lou Ferrigno, but it's like, but that's amazing. And then the average person's like, you're lucky if you get 1 plate of breakfast food down. So yeah, but because he was carrying a lot of muscle. So hey, Sonny, we gotta get you eating.
I actually do eat quite a bit, but my metabolism is pretty high. So
super.
I'm assuming that, I guess, if you want to gain the size, you lessen your cardio, or you lessen, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on your sport, right?
Activity. Yeah.
I didn't do in the day. Now I do it every day because I love it. Just power walks. You know, because after bodybuilding, I got into running, right? And then my knees were starting to give out. But in my day, I didn't do cardio until pre-contest. That was one of the things to switch up to, like, you know, to help the body and just really attack that excess that you're trying to burn off, you know, so you can get shredded and everything else. You don't need cardio. When you're
I think that was my problem, because I couldn't gain the size.
Metabolism. Yeah,
I couldn't gain the weight. I mean, I was lifting heavy. Like I was lifting I was benching about 300 pounds at about 135, 140 pounds.
Wow. So the strength is there, but
strength was there, but for size, I didn't have the size. I guess I was so busy working, keeping my cardio up, right? And because of the sport that I was in, I needed the strength and power over the size.
Yeah, and it's a different sport, martial arts, right? It's a different.
Absolutely.
Sport. You got to train for your sport.
Exactly.
Right? It's just like, you know, marathon runners. They can eat as much pasta as they want. They need that extra glycogen, the extra energy. To keep going, right? So there's going to be differences, but the main consistency is just know your sport, right? And know know your nutrition. Say, you know, it's like, if you have like contact sport like football or even wrestling, that you know, will the level of fat and even your core, it's a different core workout, because it takes a lot of beating, you know, in those sports, right? But and again, it's just like sport specific training. You know,
absolutely.
But the nutrition is always important, no matter what your sport.
Yes. Well, the next question I had was, I had a friend of mine who is also a big fan of you, because he's seen all the magazines. He probably still has the magazines in his house and stuff. But he wanted to find out, was it difficult, or how did you get into these major magazines? Because I'm sure there's a lot of women out there, not just women, men, who'd be interested in putting the work. But what was your or how did you I guess, did you look into it? Did you? I know you had to work for it. You put the
Well, you got to put the work.
Put the work into it, but I'm sure there's a little bit of luck in there too, right?
Well, it's location.
Uh-huh.
It's what it is, because I'm training and getting ready. Even went to the national level in Canada.
Yes.
Mind you, one of the biggest magazines, Muscle Mag International, who later also published Oxygen magazine and American Curves and that. Robert Kennedy, who I love dearly, was based out of Toronto. He was a Canadian guy. But everything was always shot pretty much in California. Or, photographers would travel to the shows. But it's usually, I did meet a small crew at the Canadian Nationals, which was held in Toronto that year. And later on, when I moved to California, I'm getting all, the coverage. I was talking to Joe Weider, and he goes, "Where have you been?" Because I showed him like old photos when I was modeling them fitness, and you can see my body starting to change and stuff. And he said to me, I don't know, who's viewing right now or who would remember, if you're into, all right, if you're into the sport, then of course Gladys Portuguese.
Yes.
And Joe says, "You remind me of Gladys. You're so beautiful, and you have the cute little eye, He goes, "We could have been using you, in the 80s." In the 80s, I'm thinking, I'm in Canada, so I didn't have anybody to go by. I was one of the few girls in the gym. We're in California, so everyone's working out, right? And I remember people saying, "Well, I've been to California. I've seen Rachel McClish, and I've seen Corey. They're huge. You got to put a lot more muscle." I'm thinking, oh my God. Right? It's hard because we get the magazines.
Yes.
It's hard to compare, know just by looking at a picture. You know that they're a lot more, they look bigger because they're so lean and shredded for competition, which is most of the times I take the photos is right after competing, right? Oh my God, I can't get much bigger. Like, what? So when I finally went to California the year before I did the North Americans, where I achieved my pro card, I went to Gold's Gym. I didn't get to see Corey Eveson, but I saw Jackie Paisley, like a lot of the girls, Shelly Beatty, and I'm like, they look amazing and they're like in great shape and beautiful muscularity, but they're not huge, like these people talk. So anyway, I was telling Joe that. He goes, I would have put you in the magazines if you were here in the 80s. I'm like, darn it, John. 10 years from 91 is when I first got my major spread because they saw me at the Canadian Nationals. Anyway, it's about location and in a day. And I'm so, like for all of us who've been on the publications, on the covers or featured, it was like, what a day to be in the sport, because the publications aren't that big anymore. Most of them are gone. And, it's on internet now, but it was a big deal to see yourself on a cover and stuff, right? Anyway, I got through that through competing and just being down in California, and a lot of the photographers, like the photographers that shot mainly for the major publications was Bill Dobbins, Robert Reed, Ken Marcus, Chris Lund, and then the other photographers, Jim Mentler, Rob DeHaan, who also shot for major publications. They were always like renting out hotel rooms, just grabbing all the competitors that were competing, right? We're all going from room to room down the same hallway in the same hotel, just taking all these just photo shoots of everything, and then they'd sell them to the publications. So it depends on, once you reach the national level in the day, if you're in the pro shows, then everyone's shooting. And that's how we got into the publications. I was blessed to get Muscle and Fitness covers because I was under contract with Joe Weider, right? Weider Health Fitness, and of course that's his magazine. So as part of the perks of working for it, you just never know. And I didn't expect, you just got to work hard for it and put yourself out there. But I just found by moving to California, I got 90% of the photo shoots.
Okay.
Because I was there.
It is there. But like you said, nowadays it's a different world, right? With technology and like IG, Facebook, you can start posting your own things and you can get recognized by that.
You can. And people have done well. And then others have been kind of lost in the shuffle because there's so many out there, right?
Yes.
The thing with the publications, and in the day, it was just bodybuilding. So there weren't as many of us. So when Joe stuck us on a cover or a major feature inside, or Bob Kennedy, or, you know, we won John Balick with Iron Man, kind of become stars. It's like look at you guys in Black Belt magazine or Kung Fu magazine. It's like, you know, James Liu, my buddy, you know, I love him.
Oh, yes.
Covers, right? It's like, man, James, when I first met him, it's like, it's James Liu, you know, because you see him everywhere, right? He's a big superstar, which he is. I'm not taking him. He is a big superstar, but it just made you bigger than life. But now on the internet, you know, I'll come across someone, it's like, oh, wow, she looks great. Or, oh, look at him, he's doing well, you know, but who are they?
Yep.
Right? Because there's so many fitness pages and personalities, and everyone's taking selfies now, and you know, so it's great that everyone's got a platform, but well, who are they? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it was an honor in the day. It was just a great time to be.
Yes.
You know.
Sharon, you said in the morning you do a power walk. Can you explain what a power walk is?
My power walks are. It's like kind of in between a fast walk and a run. So I'm just, I just put my earplugs in and, you know, listen to my music. And I'm just like, basically, you know.
Okay, you don't use, do you use any weights, like ankle weights or no?
No.
Just,
I mean,
just a brisk walk.
Yeah, just a brisk. It's just, you know, it's just, I got a mission. I got my little trail I go on, listen to my music, just thoughts in my head. And I just, you know, I'm just get in my zone, and I just it's just a really fast-paced walk.
Okay.
I'd rather run, but because, you know, knee issues, so I do it safe for my joints.
Yes. I understand. I have the knee issue also.
You too? Oh,
yeah.
Horrible. You know, some people run by like, I wish I could run. Yeah, I got arthritis in the knee, so darn it.
Yep.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, right?
It does. It really does.
Hello there, Mr. Bobby Lynn. Professor, you got your sound on? Your volume up?
No, he doesn't have his mic on. He needs his mic on. There you go.
I do. Mahalo.
Well, thanks for coming.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much. It's an honor. Again, talking about magazine covers, Miss Bruno. I've seen many of your magazine covers. I'm very honored to be here. No, seriously, I was a big Muscle Fitness fan back in my youth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad you joined us.
All I knew was you and Rachel McLeish and Lee Haney, and that's all I needed to know.
Going way back. Well, thank you. I'm honored to be in that group. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Can you tell that Professor Lynn is from Boston?
You're from Boston? Really?
My accent would never give it away.
You've got an accent, sir?
A slight sedia.
Love it.
Thank you.
Well, Sharon, we're getting close to the end of the hour here. Can you tell us about some of the things that you're actually doing and some of the things that you're going to be putting out soon? Because I know you talked about a book. You probably have some products. I'm sure you've got a lot of things that people would love to hear about and maybe sign up for, because the best thing for people to do is to learn from someone who's been there, done that, who's experienced it, and what's that saying they say is success leaves clues. And you've been very successful in the fitness world, fitness industry, that I believe you've got a lot of things to share with everybody. And so I would highly recommend any of your products.
Well, thank you for that. The check is in the mail. Anyway. Yes, so earlier we were talking about, you can get on Amazon, my friend Richard, you can see on the screen here,
Mm-hmm.
Fat Bernie Secrets, a very simple, quick, basic read. Information, even, you know, people have been around the industry for a while. It's just some stuff you just kind of overlooked and just forgot about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Simple habits, and this is great for beginners. And I highly recommend this for people that are personal trainers and you have beginning clients. It's a quick read, just hand off to them so they can just keep, and it's also available on Kindle. I'm really excited. Oh, of course, the website, we're working on that, so I keep announcing it, but some pushbacks. So by the end of the month or next month, it'll be up and running. But I will be offering fitness workouts and nutrition work, you know, guides. A lot of information on that. I'll also be interviewing some people and sharing some great behind the scenes stories that I'd love to share. So over a year ago, a gentleman reached out to me. He's a formulator, and he and a good friend of ours is a chemist, and they came up with a age defense moisturizer. And again, I'm going to be 59. Well, I'm 59. I'm going to be 60 next year. And they're, you know, they asked, what are you using for your skin, everything else? Would you try out our product? You know, absolutely, we'll try it for free. Because I'm living in Canada right now, so the stuff that I used to do in the US isn't available here for my skin. So I'm just, you know, whatever, I'm just using stuff, you know, Neutrogena, stuff like that. And anyway, I started using this product, and my friends notice a huge difference every time I see them. Like, what are you doing for your skin? I had my makeup done last year at the Olympia. And friend hadn't seen in a while. I was like, your skin, the condition of your skin. Now, when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, well, it's like, you know, that's like the same person to me, you know. But you know, I don't get Botox, and, you know, whatever. And I'd love to, but you know, even if you are, whatever you're doing for wrinkle defense, put it that way, you still have to consider the condition of your skin, right? Especially as we get older. And I'm native, right? So I've got like a combination oily stripe. Anyway, blah blah. I know the guys are kind of like, all right.
Oh no, I understand all too well because my wife
I loved it so much. I put my name on it.
Oh wow.
They agreed to do a private label for me because I was going to help them promote it and just give them the product, right? But it's stem cell based, and it's made a huge difference in my skin. Huge. And it's like, I want to do this product, and I've never put my name on any kind of skin condition or anything. I'm really excited about this. So I'm just mentioning it now. We're ready for the pre-launch. For those who want to know more about the product, you can email me at sharonbruneau@hotmail.com. And then I'll be doing the official launch at the beginning of next month. And you'll see the ads. I'll be promoting it through my feeds and, of course, on the internet. And 30-second commercial spots will be coming your way. Wow. I'm really excited about this because I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful product. It's a great peptide.
That's exciting.
And it's a one of a kind. That's why I wanted my name on it so bad. It's a one of a kind peptide. You can't get this in any other product. So I'll be posting more about it. But for those who want to do a pre-order, it's sharonbruneau@hotmail.com, and I'll tell you more about it.
Okay.
So other than that,
do you need any sales rep for it?
Hit me up.
I'd be willing to.
Yeah, I was looking, you know, I reached out to a couple of acquaintances and people that we know in the industry, the fitness bodybuilding industry. I'm thinking, no, Robert Kennedy always told me, Sharona, whenever you strike up a business and you don't have the funding and you're looking for a backer, reach out. You never know. Just ask,
absolutely.
right? Yeah. So I kind of reached out to a few people, and it's like, no reply. So sorry, I just thought I'd try. But you know, I was looking for a backer to do a bigger launch, but I'm just gonna do a light launch, you know, and we'll get it out there. But and again, I mean, I'm telling you, I love it. It's like it's worked wonders for my skin. And I just want to share it. So, and again, it's one of a kind. So anyway, I'll share more information with you. Hit me up, and you'll see the ads coming out.
Oh, and is it only for women, or
men can use it too?
Men use it too?
I had 3 of my girls use it. No, men can use it too. Yeah, it's a stem cell based enzyme. And I just use it on my neck, my face, and my eyes. Right, all in one. and it's just real light. It says moisturizer, and at first, it's like, and it detoxifies your skin too. Because I noticed I started breaking out. It's supposed to like acne and eczema, psoriasis because of the stem cell base.
Yes.
Seriously. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell? I'm breaking out. I don't like this stuff. I challenged my friend. It's like, hey, Eric, what's the deal? He goes, no, it's detoxing. So once it just because it corrects your skin. And then it's like, look at me. And for those who know me, I don't wear makeup unless I'm doing a photo shoot or I go out to a black tie. I did my eyes for this and lighting, like plastered on here, but look at me, I'm excited. I love my skin. What can I say? But yes, men can use it too. Absolutely.
Oh, that's great to hear because I love skin products myself.
Yeah,
I do. I like the mud mask and stuff. I mean,
you should.
My wife's into it, so I get to be the guinea pig every now and then. But to tell you the truth, I love it just as much as she does. So it's a treat when she puts a mud mask on me.
Those who mud mask together stay together. It's like
exactly.
Well, because this is the first thing people see, right?
Yeah.
Woman, you gotta look good, healthy looking skin. I mean, we work so hard to stay in shape and keep our bodies looking toned and fit and our insides healthy and youthful. And it's like, well, but my God, the first thing people see is your skin, your face. So
yes,
absolutely. I always invest in my skin, my face and my hair and stuff. So John Kraft, was it your sister that was on last time asking about menopausal issues?
That was my cousin Tracy.
Your cousin?
Yeah, she's down
Have her DM me. I've got a huge amount of information for her.
I will do that. I asked her to come today. I don't know what she's doing, but
she missed out.
They all get quiet. Grandkids, yeah.
Oh, we're talking about that again there.
That's a good excuse. I'm gonna chew her out for not being here.
Yeah, have her DM me. I've got some stuff for her.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you. And by the way, you look great.
It's the face cream.
Sharon, I want a dozen of it.
I'm sold too. I want a couple myself.
You're gonna love it. I kid you not.
I have a question for you, and I know that these other guys here, like Professor Bobby Lynn from the Boston area, you're here, and thank you so much. And I know you might have a question or two, so we want to give you an opportunity. If we go over an hour, that's okay.
That's okay.
As long as Sharon is good with that, then
I set my day for this. So.
Excellent. And if you have something else to say, then you're just going to have to encroach, I guess, because why not? And so here's my question. So Sharon, women, diet, menopause, aging, all of that. I have a question. I'm going to try to be, well, here it is.
Just spit it out, John.
Just spit it out. Okay. So, I see women, they go to the restaurant. We're like, whoa, we're in this fancy restaurant, right? Salad. What is that? We've got steak. We have lobster.
And then there's the salad eaters, right? I'll have a salad.
And I'm kind of thinking that women are health and weight conscious, and so they don't want to put on the pounds, and maybe they don't have an exercise program that they've got themselves into. So I'm assuming now, as being a guy, that maybe the salad thing is a lot of women's take on, well, I can keep myself in shape just by eating salad. And is that a myth? Is that reality? How do you see that?
And I know what I know what you're saying. Sometimes you just want a good fresh salad,
Okay.
But yeah, just by restricting your calories like that, thinking that it's going to burn the weight off. I mean, it's all a balance.
Right.
So you got to absolutely, you got to 9%, as I said earlier, is your nutrition program.
Right.
But you still have to work out. So just because you're eating salads all day long, or just have like a protein shake in the morning and a salad at night. No, then what happens if you don't get enough calories, even just for a regular day routine, your body, your metabolism will slow right down because you're not fueling even your daily activities. Like you still need a certain amount of carbs for your brain to function, right? So when people restrict their calories too much, what the body does is like, well, hey, wait a minute, I'm not getting the nutrients I need for organ function, for this, that. Because your body's always working, whether you're in the gym or not, especially when you're sleeping. That's when your body is constantly repairing itself. You got to feed it. You got to feed yourself. So it's okay to have a salad like once a day, twice a day. That's fine. But you still need your complex carbs. You still need your protein because, our peptides, we're built to peptide bonds. Peptides are protein, right? And you need that to maintain your health, your stature. If you diet too hard, the body shuts down and it's going to hang on to what it's got. So I always hear this like, God, I don't even eat much and I diet so hard and all I do is eat salad and I just, and I can't get rid of this belly fat or this fat or, I can't, my weight isn't changing, right? Well, it's because the body is in survival mode. So if you're not getting enough fats in or anything that's really important, protein, calories, it's going to say, hey, no, wait, I'm going to hang on to what I got. And then you're going to feel sluggish and lightheaded if you get up too quick, whatever. It's the same as overtraining. I'm going to train and eat less. And then I'm going to look like Corey Everson, right? Or Rachel McClish or whatever, right? And it's like, no, because now you're burning all the muscle off. You're in atrophy because the body is, you can survive on... the body needs more fat than muscle to survive. Okay, fat's important for your organs, everything, right? So you've got to keep a balance. If you're not eating enough, the body's going to shut down. It's going to burn muscle and hang on to the fat, right? So you're going to be watery. It's like flubby. You can train your butt off for hours. It's not going to do good because you're going to burn off all your muscle, especially if you're not eating, which we talked about earlier. You got to eat for your level of activity. You don't want to beat yourself up. You want to just stimulate the growth, right? Again, even in my heyday, the longest I trained in a gym, the training, not including cardio, was about half an hour. Maybe 40 minutes, depending. If it was leg day, then we'd take a bit longer between sets, right? Cardio, the most we do when we did do cardio, or was 40 minutes, half hour on an average. Now today, I'm still toned. I'm not as muscular as I was. I don't want that. It's a different chapter in my life. But to keep this, I still have to eat a lot, right? Not as much as I did when I looked like that. But you got to help your body. You just stimulate the growth, and you got to keep it balanced. So you can have your salad, but don't think you got to only eat salad to stay skinny. And some women are like, well, I don't want to look like that. And I, just the other day, oh, your arms are so muscular. I don't know. It's like, that's because that's the way I like it. But I know my body. If I didn't work out at all and I ate salad, I'd be a toothpick, a flabby toothpick, right? So you got to keep it in balance. It's good to eat healthy. That's good, but no, you got to feed yourself. All right, the body's very smart, and it knows how to survive. So,
I have another question for you. My daughter is a fitness trainer, and she was thin to start with, but now she is really thin. And I tend to worry about her. Are there signs that you are maybe losing too much?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
She might be overtraining. Again, it's all about nutrition. She just needs to up her calories, probably her protein. Maybe take a break now and then. It's okay to take a couple of days off in between. You're not going to change within, you won't notice changes within a week. It depends on, your level, but it's okay to take a few days off in between. And now I know if you're a fitness trainer, you're always in the gym, you're working with clients or, but for your own stature, like again, I always mix up my training days, even in the day. I go 3 on, 1 off, 4 on, 2 off, 2 on, 3 off. You just got to mix it up and save your calories, rotate your calories. Don't stay on the same plateau because the body goes, okay, I'm used to this. I know what's going on, right? Always rotate your activity and your calories. Always keep the body working, right? But as she's getting thinner, yeah, she just needs to, and she probably knows that. She just needs to up her calories or take a break.
Yeah, you know how mamas are. We worry.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, is she getting thinner or are you being mom? Like, all right, you look a little thing, you gotta eat, So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
She'll know though. Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon.
Absolutely.
One other question I was asked about Sharon was, what's your thoughts or opinion about fasting? Because some people swear by it, and because you know how they fast for so many days, and then it's supposed to clean you out and rejuvenate or reset your body.
Boost, and I've got friends that love their fast at least once a year, and I've had a friend who's passed away now, but he had this fasting program he would stick to at least twice a year, and he swore like even if you had the worst flu, knock it right out, kill all the germs and that. I wasn't one for fasting. I just because I've always, since a kid, I've always been active. Since a little girl, I've always a jock. I was always physically active, and I, because I'm just my stature again. I'm very fortunate because I was never overweight. Sometimes I'd be a little underweight, but I was always athletic, so I never had an issue with my weight, and thank God I never had issues with anorexia or bulimia. Some young ladies do at a certain, teenage girls, and I've worked with a few, and that's more of a mental issue. But the fasting, I never found a want to or a need to. Do I support it? I mean, it doesn't hurt you. I find that some people might stand up too long. I'm old school, and I'm a firm believer in nutrition. And I always advise people, I wouldn't go the fasting route. That's okay if you want to try it. Again, some people swear by it.
Yep.
I just believe in feeding the body the proper fuels.
I have a follow-up question on that.
Yes.
What about intermittent fasting? What's your take on that, Sharon?
That's okay. Intermittent fasting means that you eat up to a certain time of day, so you might any time past 6 until you get up. A lot of people might do that just to burn off some extra calories. I don't mind that. That's fine as long as you are eating right. So again, it's like everyone's got a different schedule as well. But I find sometimes I have some people that have a stubborn metabolism that I'll have them intermittent fast, usually just before they go to bed. And then they're starving when they wake up, and then we'll start pounding it and we'll pick up the calories again. So that's also a form of rotating your calories. So it's like you go by your days. Like, when I had my heavy training days, my calories were high. If I had low training days, meaning I wasn't doing, heavy squat day or, something like that, then I keep my calories low. It's always plain, always, again, stimulating your body, right? So it's okay. And again, like, fasting, that's an individual choice, to each their own. Just don't stay on it any more than, I would say, 6 weeks or so. I just don't see the sense in it because you burn a lot of muscle. you set yourself into atrophy, and I just never played with that, but yeah, not a big fan.
So I guess you would recommend to make sure that they see.
I would never tell someone to go fast. Just put it that way. Intermittent's okay.
No, but I'm just saying you're saying that it's okay if they really want to get into it. They should look into getting professional help, right?
Yeah, make sure you do it properly, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I know a lot of people, they just read on it, but they don't actually get the professional help that would actually help them on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject, I guess. When it comes down to it, you got to listen to your body, right?
Yeah.
You got to listen to you in the long run.
Put it this way: if you're truly caring for yourself and you're eating healthy, I'm not saying strict like a bodybuilder. You got to be lean. If you're eating healthy, and it's okay to cheat here and there. It's okay to we're all human, right? It's like life is short. So if you want that slice of cheesecake or your bowl of pasta or your pizza, whatever, it's okay to rotate your calories. It's okay to have a high calorie day, but not all day, but have a big meal of something, spectacular like lasagna with extra cheese or whatever, right? But if you're truly eating healthy and caring for yourself, there's no need to fast. Because people fast like, oh, I got to clean out my system. Well, why? It's like you got to flush out the carburetor. It shouldn't be with dirty smoke. That's my analogy because my ex was a big car guy, right? Mechanic, my very first husband, and it was always interesting because he's like, it's interesting the way he talks about his cars is how I think about the body. You got to fuel, proper fuel and proper oil and proper, and keep the pipes clean. Well, that's why eating healthy, right?
Yes.
Now, I don't know. It's like maybe somebody that is trying to cleanse their system that might have had an addiction issue. Maybe flush their system out that way. I'm sure, But I've just never been a big advocate on fasting. I'm not saying it's wrong. Like you said, Sonny, if it's done properly and under the right supervision, knock yourself out.
Professor Bobby Lynn, did you have a question for Sharon?
Yes, I do.
Or something you would just like to know about her, I guess?
Well, I always debate. I'm a guy who's going to be 62, who had weight issues. I was law enforcement for 35 years, working the overnight shift. And, life gets in the way, and here I am. What's your thoughts on when it comes to meals? You hear the 3 square meals is all you need. Then you hear, well, maybe 5. You take, you do like every 2 hours, you do a high protein snack or something to that effect.
Absolutely. Everybody should eat every 3 hours at least. Yeah. And again, I'm not talking about big meals, right?
Right.
And that's old school. I'm 59. I need your 3 square meals. Put a steak and potatoes on or, whatever. You can have your 3 square meals, but in between have snacks. Because you want to keep, and again, as we get older, everything slows down, right? Then we start noticing like, hey, it's getting harder to shed this weight off or, it's important to keep your, and it keeps your blood sugars level. It's just really important for your health overall to keep your body fueled. And especially with your line of work, thank you for your service. That sounds like an extremely stressful job. And those hours too, and your family, man, your kids have a day life and you have a night life kind of thing. And again, you've always got to really design it around your schedule. That means your work schedule and family life and everything else, right? Because it's not always about you. And there's other people that you're caring for. I'm a huge and you don't have to be a bodybuilder. I think everyone should eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. Yes, have your and I'm a big advocate on breakfast, absolutely, because your body through sleep repairs itself. It's been working hard, so you should have a good breakfast. And if you're on the run, at least throw down a banana, anything, right, or a protein shake or whatever. A good breakfast I would rather. But yeah, in between meals, have a protein bar, a protein shake, or you can get like the little like mini lunches, little edibles that you can, a handful of almonds. Just put something in there. Always keep something. Like my bag always has foods, nibbles in it. If I go somewhere, I've got a purse, I've always got either protein bars in there or almonds or something. In case I was working at 20th Century, I was on location a lot, and so and they only have craft service morning, afternoon, and night, depending on, what production you're working on. I carry my own snacks in between just to keep myself, because when you do that, you're starving in between, right? So it saves your metabolism from slowing down. It keeps you neutralized as well, keeps the blood sugars level. So every 2.5 to 3 hours, I think everyone should be nibbling on something. And hydrate, constantly hydrating. Yeah.
Thank
You'll
you.
thank yourself as you get older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a struggle, no doubt. No doubt about it. It's a struggle. But well, that's good advice. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So a little bit about Professor Bobby Lynn. You're a
Uh-oh.
martial arts instructor.
Who, me?
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your school there in is it Danvers, Boston area? What do you do there?
Yeah, North Reading, Mass. I work in the North Shore of Massachusetts for a friend of mine. We've known each other through the martial arts circles for the last 25 years or so. And when I retired from law enforcement, he says, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to be a Walmart greeter." And he says, "Yeah, man, that's not going to work." He says, "You're going to come over work with me." And which I've done for the last 2.5 years on a regular kind of shift, which is great because now I can
Nice.
my lifestyle and get normal again. Watch what I'm doing. I don't know if they have it over here from it's Awaken 180. It's a weight loss company, and they go with the five meal principle thing and small snacks and heavy on the protein, light on the carbs, light as much sugar off as much as possible. And I'm a not very patient man, and it's coming. It's going good. I'm down about 35 and change, and I walk by the mirrors in our school, which John and Sonny have been to, and I look and I go, keep walking, keep walking. So it's a work in progress. I from teaching 4-year-olds to 75-year-olds and coordinating 2 events we have every year. Pulse of EC, Sophie Pulse of EC calls it the Martial Arts Extravaganza. It's a 3-day expo. John and Sonny are very well into it. They were both at our last one in March. We try to cover all the bases and just highlight the people that have given so much of their time to the arts to showcase them. And that's what we do. That's what we do. Just like what you do, like you say, with your training now, it's giving back to a certain level, a certain section or whatever. And
wonderful.
I'm sort of the ringleader. I can do anything and everything, and most times usually do. But I enjoy. I get to, I get to do what I love. I get to teach lessons more often than I've had in the past. So it's great. It's great.
No, it's a great event, sir. I mean, I would highly recommend for anybody who would like to go to that event, the Paul Servizi's Extravaganza, because they have great instructors teaching seminars, and just the way they present this event is absolutely phenomenal, top notch in my books. So again, thank you for being part of that there, sir.
Thank you. And if you notice, Sonny and I are cousins.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess we've come close to going over a little bit, but at the same time, John, do you have anything else to say before we close up?
Well, I do. closing up may not be an option yet. If we can keep Sharon here all
What
day,
you
I don't
got,
know.
John?
Wait, I'm gonna get my snack.
Hurry up, we're getting hungry. What?
Okay, all right, we're done.
No.
What we can do is, Sharon, I'm sure after this one again, I'm sure we're going to get more questions. We're going to, and I'm sure I'm going to actually get more messages about your skincare product that you're putting out and that, which is going to be terrific. Like I said, I'm serious. If you need some sales reps, I would love to get some products and then stuff.
We'll help
because
you.
My wife is into that too, and
the product has been around for a couple of years, but only exclusive because of the oligopeptide,
of course,
stem cell in it. And so that's why they reached out to me. It's like, hey, would you want to try? Because I've been doing podcasts, and somebody had mentioned to me, it's like, it's wonderful that you're not getting all that makeup stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and well, I know what he means. And it's like, if I could afford it, I would, So Emmerich saw that podcast, goes, well, you're perfect for my product because I want somebody that didn't go under the needle. I'm like, all right, so he handed it off to me and like, hey, sure, it's free, and I'm trying out. Of course, I researched like, who's this guy? But of course, I knew it was for the bodybuilding, right?
Yes,
he is old school. This guy's old iron school. And just like, he's a formulator. He formulates products. And so absolutely, I respect the heck out of this guy. And like I said, it took me about 4 months to really know, because I was detoxing everything out.
Yes.
And again, like, because I'm always looking at myself in the mirror. Well, you can't help it, you're washing your face and whatever.
Yes.
I'm like, well, I don't know, but it feels good, it feels real soft. And my neck was soft. But my friends was like, when I went to Cali not Cali, it was in Vegas at the Olympia last year. And a few of the girls were like, girl, what are you doing to your skin? I was like, really? You notice, really? Because when you're looking at it again, but now I'm starting to notice it, because when I do photos and even like video on that, it's like, oh, wow. Now I can really see it. So, so because it had been so exclusive, and he could only he wasn't really he's got so much stuff going on.
Yes.
He goes, if you want, I'll do a private label for you. And I could not turn that down. If I didn't like the product and was like, thanks anyway, I would be like, no, I don't want to promote that. Like, lie to everyone. It's like, it's like those commercials you see, right? I don't want to be that person, like the 20-year-old model, L'Oreal, promoting aging cream. She's like, it's like, well, dude, you're only 24, like,
exactly.
And or have this go out and I didn't like, and have someone use them, like, well, I don't know what the hell Brunel's talking about, but my skin looks worse, but I'm really excited about this. So this is my next step. I wouldn't mind doing a full body line.
Yeah.
With this.
That would be,
I'd love to do a body lotion too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be something to look forward to.
Yeah, but the peptide, again, is just so exclusive, so it takes a while. Like anything over 100 orders, you're going to have to wait 30 days, because he's got to create the peptide, and then we send it to the manufacturing labs in Atlanta, Georgia. Then they ship it out for me, because they mix it into the
product,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's worth the wait.
I'm there. I'm there.
Me too. So I do have more questions.
Yes.
Sharon, I'd like to know more about other things that I know that you're planning on doing, that you are going to be launching. But before that, Richard, I'd like to know more about your book. What's in that thing, and how's it going to help me? How's it going to help different people that I know? And what's some of the secret stuff that you have in that book? And tell us about it and why we need to buy that book. We're there for you, buddy.
Well, so we were when Sharon was talking about diet, a lot of the stuff in my book just really supports what she's talking about. For example, one of the things that I talk about in my book is that I show my diet in there when I was competing, 7 meals a day. And, every 2 or 3 hours I'm eating something. And like she said, thank you, Sharon. It is definitely not, you're not eating large meals every 2 or 3 hours. You're eating a couple of them may be bigger than the other, but you definitely have these snacks you're doing. And the other thing I would emphasize is that our bodies have a hormonal response to food. And I think it's very important that we have a balance of the macronutrients at every meal. So when you were talking about salads earlier, just eating a salad is giving you some carbs and maybe some fat, but you're not getting a lot of protein there. So you need the right balance of carbs, fats, and proteins at every meal. So,
and I find that in your book.
Yes, you will find that in my book. I specifically talk about that.
That's a really interesting subject to me, because before Sharon, on our last time that Sharon graced us with her presence and shared all that knowledge, she was talking about something I had never heard of before, and that was this whole diet thing where you eat these meals because the body is actually starving. So this theme on starvation mode is something I had never heard of before. And you would think, for a lot of us, well, if I don't eat, well, naturally I'm going to lose weight, but that's not really what you're saying how it works at all. Is that true?
No. In fact, in the book, I actually talk about a guy who's now a friend of mine, but he started off as just somebody doing the program. His name is Lawrence. He was 52 years old at the time. And he actually, this is an important thing about the whole weight. The weight should not be your goal. It should be healthy. It should be lower body fat. It should be increased muscle, especially as we get older. We want to go into our older age, with as much muscle as possible, because that means our body's going to burn fat more efficiently.
Okay.
With the muscle.
Richard, you actually brought up a good point I wanted to extend here.
Go ahead.
You're talking about the weight, how people are so concerned about their weight, more so women, right? That's why, and I mentioned earlier, I don't weigh myself. I did when I was competing, just to keep a log of my progression of my muscle growth. But I never weigh my clients. I might weigh them at the very beginning, and then I'll wait a few months and weigh them, right? Because with women especially, you gotta consider muscle weighs more than fat, and right. So as you get into shape, doesn't have to be bodybuilding shape. When your body is changing, you're getting a nice little tone going on. You get that nice shape going on. Instead of the bony little shoulders and the wider hips, you get a nice round on your shoulders and start that hourglass. You know, it's about bodybuilding is building body. So whether you're doing it to compete or just making yourself look prettier and better, right? More fit, you're building your body. So it doesn't matter what size you wear, or how much you weigh, it's about how you look. And everybody's different. You know, I might have a smaller bone structure than you. You know, you can't compare yourself to other people because we're all different. It's about how you look in the mirror and how you fit your clothes and your performance, how healthy you are. So when you start working out and you're like, oh, now I put on all this weight, you know, I'm getting fat, you know, or I don't want to be that heavy. I want to be 110 pounds or whatever, you know.
Right.
It's like, it's not about the weight. It's about how you look. So that's a very important point that Richard brought up that I didn't think to talk about, you know. And again, when you're trying to lose weight and you're weighing yourself every day, well, no, because then when people come to me, whether they want to lose weight or gain weight, whether it be muscle for competition or just like gain weight to look pretty, you know, or strike, you know, more attractive, you got to eat. I'm going to make you eat. Again, nutrition, 90%. Very basic, very simple. You know, your carbs, your proteins, and your essential fats. So I have people that want to lose weight. They're like, why are you making me eat? I feel full. I don't want it, you know, I want it. Yes, because it's going to pick up your metabolism. So when you eat every 2.5 to 3 hours, it's going to keep the metabolism working. You're going to burn the fat. But the food I'm feeding you is nutritious, clean, healthy, lean food. It's not going to make you gain fat. It's going to put more muscle on you.
Wow.
But if you notice that I'm not losing weight, I'm putting weight on the same weight, it's because your body's shifting. It's losing the fat and putting on some muscle. And the same with the girls, right? You know, I'm skinny, I'm flabby. I want to get a butt. You know, thanks to the Kardashians, it's all butt now, right? You know, some women had that natural padunk-kadunk, and others like myself, you have to really work for it. And even then, I never had, much of a, because of my long native stature. But if you want the shape, you got to eat, right? And if you weigh yourself, it's like, oh my God, but my weight is going up. Well, yeah, because we'll put muscle on you to give you that rounded padunk-kadunk, So they don't, get rid of scale. Just throw it out. I'm serious, because it's a real mind bend, and it just messes you up. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not working because I'm putting weight on. I'm not losing the weight. What's she talking about? I'm the same weight. Well, yeah, because now you're muscular instead of fat, or you look better than you did when you were bony. But absolutely, it's not about the weight. It's about what you eat and how much you eat.
Yeah, right. So that's exactly the point I was going to make too, is because I have a 4-week plan that I have at the end of the book that kind of shows people how they could integrate all this stuff. But for Lawrence, we just put him on we integrated everything for the first 4 weeks into week 0. And he actually gained weight and lost 2 inches around his waist in 4 weeks.
There you go.
So that's the kind of stuff you learn in my book. In addition to nutrition, I also talk about weight training, resistance training. You're not going to be able to build muscle if you don't do resistance training. And then I also talk about cardio training. So all of that is included in this book.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question, John.
You betcha. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, fat burning secrets, efficiency and fitness. Who is that on the cover?
That's Sharon Bruneau.
Who's the other person?
Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have known each other for a while.
No, really, we just met this year.
Yeah, we just met
earlier. Didn't know Richard. We're on Facebook together, and he reached out to me, and he shared his book with me, and like I said earlier, the reason why I wanted to support Richard and do the foreword for him and work with him to help promote this is because the fact is very basic and simple. It breaks it down. It's a very simple, basic read. It's an easy read, so it's not confusing to beginners. Because a lot of the information you get on the internet or some books is like, it's so full with so much information. Like, oh, I don't understand. It's just too much to conceal. It's like, what do you mean? It is so simple. I read the whole thing, with it not even an hour. Just read through this. That's so simple. And it's like, oh, now of course, I've known this for years, but I'm thinking of somebody that's brand new or hasn't gone over their basics in a while, right? It's like, oh, this is very good. It's very well written through a man who went through the program himself and was so passionate about helping others because he found it so easy that it's like, well, no, everybody, he just wanted to share how easy it is.
Right. There's an art to that, sharing how easy something is. You have to go through it so you can explain it. So it's all excellent to me. It's just amazing. Well, Sonny, I'll turn it back over to you.
I turned 60 last year, and I continue to follow the same program in the book. So,
okay,
that's terrific.
There's nothing new in the book. It's just basic information that people overlook. It's always the basic. It's always something basic, right? We try to make it big what it is, whatever subject it is, but it just reminds you just how simple it is, right? This information's been around forever, but it's just something. It's a good refresher. Like, oh yeah.
That's what it comes down to, right? I mean, keep it simple. Everybody's looking for the magic pill or the magic workout to lose whatever, or the magic diet, but there's no such thing. It's just a matter of keeping it simple, keeping it with a good foundation, and then taking it a step further, right? One step at a time.
Yes, most times. Not so much anymore because there's more information available now, but in the 90s even, and then you tell people what you've done, like, how'd you get that? How did you do that? Well, just that. No, come on. That's it. Yeah, no, it's just this, that, and that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
Like that. You're kidding me. Like, no. Just gotta be committed.
Yep, exactly. You gotta commit instead of just be interested.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Everybody has to understand that there's a difference between commitment and just being interested. If you're interested, you can make an excuse not to do it, but commitment, you've decided to cut off all the excuses and just do it anyway, right?
And it depends on how bad you want it, right? Like if you really want to do it, you're going to commit to it.
Yeah, how hungry we are.
Exactly. So again, thank you very much, Sharon, for taking time off your day and
I love you guys.
Some incredible information and knowledge to all our listeners.
Yeah.
And then before we actually go, I wanted to just let everybody know that I wanted to promote it because I'm helping with it. Is that Sifu Aldecascos is going to be hosting a tournaments with seminars and some recognition in Hawaii at the end of October. We'll have the official dates of all of the things going on, and it will be posted everywhere from IG to Facebook to direct email and mailing. But also, I'm very, very excited that John himself is also looking to help his great grandmaster, Rob Castro. He's going to be hosting an event in California as well. And the date it's to be announced, but it's in the process. And I applaud John for this because it's a big undertaking, but I know he's up for the challenge and he's going to do a terrific job because he's already done a lot of great things for Shaolin Kempo. And all he wants to do is also just share his art and what he's learned from his grandmasters. So, John, thank you very much. Sharon, thank you. Richard, thank you for joining and sharing your book as well. Professor Bobby Lynn, thank you for joining in as well.
Before you say goodbye, before you say your goodbyes, Sonny.
Yes.
Thank you for the what do you call it? Anyway, about the stuff. Now the Hawaii deal, that's pretty cool. So is that pretty much on track like you and I had discussed that was going to happen? So
yes.
Okay,
the official tournament date is October 29th on a Sunday, and we're looking at doing seminars on Saturday as well as Monday and Tuesday. But all that information will be out soon enough as it is.
Awesome.
Okay.
Does Aldecascos, he holds those yearly, does he? Are these annual for him?
He used to when he was out in Portland, Oregon, as well as in Europe. This is going to be his first one that he's looking to do in a long time since he's in Hawaii. Yes,
they're always incredible. I've heard about them, and I've never been able to attend one of his seminars. But
you're going to have to.
What yours is in California? What's the time date for that?
We're looking sometime in June, isn't it, John? You're looking at sometime in June, maybe.
I'm trying to get a place, and so I can't really announce anything yet because things seem to fall apart after you say, So, but tentatively.
Well, let me know. Just DM me and let me know when you find out.
Well, I would because I want you to be there.
I'd love to.
And so you can do your thing with all of this, the health stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll get your name out there and we'll keep it out there.
Well,
because we're trying to help you. Right? You're helping us. It's just
absolutely.
This is like a match made in heaven for all of us that are trying to help each other because I mean, why not?
Isn't it?
Serendipity.
Well, yeah, you betcha. So anyways, before we go, Sonny, what is it that you're up to over there, Sharon? All the new stuff you're doing. I know you've been in the past, you've been a bodybuilder, a champion, you've been a movie star, a TV star. What are you up to now?
Well, again, I've been working on, since COVID.
Right.
Pandemic, everything, things I was working on prior were shelved. And so now that all the barriers are down and we're somewhat back to normal, I had to pretty much start over on a couple of projects. The other ones are permanently shelved, and then we lost some people that were involved with the projects, and it's been horrible, So just pretty much playing catch up. So my main focus right now has been the website, and of course the skincare, and now Richard's book. Richard did all the work on that, so give him the kudos for that.
Yeah.
But mainly just the website, because it's good that I've been kind of silent, because it forced me to really knuckle down and get these workout videos I've been taping and prepping some of the nutrition programs, so that I'll be posting them on YouTube and my website by end of month, by next month, for all to see and to purchase, so that you have in your libraries, because I'm constantly asked for videos and books. And so and I had finally sat down and started writing some books that will be available by next year. So my training manuals, how I prepared for my pro win, so material that I've been sitting on for a long time, because I've been too busy bouncing around doing other things. So
Right.
I've been kind of quiet, because I'm just trying to piece everything together, get that done so I can post everything up, and then start on the next project. So.
Okay, so like a month, you're going to have some of this stuff available.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm constantly asked, especially when I was prepping for competition, like, what was my leg routine? What'd you do for shoulders? A good ab routine. How do I train at home without weights? How do I do this? How do I, so, and that to me, it's like, well, I know all that. I just have to take the time to get into the studio and get my crew to film me, doing various workout schedules and routines and so forth, and breaking it down, and video coverage of proper form.
Okay.
For workouts and exercises, because that's a big one. It's always been a big one for me, and it was even instilled further into me by Charles Glass, right? Form is everything, on how, and even on martial arts, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
To execute properly, right? And
or we learn it completely wrong, and our body is going to do it wrong moving forward.
Because it's going to end up moving that way, right? And certain muscles will be built the wrong way. So
exactly, and that's where injuries come into play.
There you go.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So you're going to have something there for the bodybuilders, and
not just bodybuilders. It's like workout enthusiasts. I'll have it for everyone, but the basic moves are for everyone. That wants to go in to do resistance training. Like weight training. So. Just a proper form, various types of workouts, so you can mix up your shoulder routines or your back or whatever, right? Stretching programs, with barbells only, with dumbbells only, with bands, with no weights. I'm going to mix it up. So there's no excuse.
So this is for.
You don't have any weights, you can't afford a gym membership, I can show you how to work out,
Great. Yeah, and you're pretty good at it too, I've heard.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people at home they'll benefit from this, because they'll be able to go, well, this isn't just for the professional bodybuilder, this is for me.
Yeah.
And
you don't even have to go to a gym,
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
A well-rounded program then for just the homebody.
That's right.
Or the pro.
Something for everyone. A little bit of something for everyone.
There you go. Thank you, Sharon.
Well, that's terrific. I'm looking forward to that, Sharon. I mean, there's going to be some really great information in that. And like you said, you got to keep it simple. You got to stick with the fundamentals, because if you don't have a good foundation, your house will crumble. And like I said earlier, that's where injuries come into play. And the last thing you want is to have injuries doing your workout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, thank you very much. Really appreciate everybody being on here. It's just that time is getting close to the end, and I believe we're pretty much gotten all our questions answered. And I'm sure, like I said, we're going to have more questions as well when it comes to some fitness as well as the skincare. And that would be terrific. That's good to know. So, John, make sure as soon as they get more questions in, we're going to have to set up the next one. All right?
Look forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody.
Always fun, you guys.
Mahalo. You guys take care. Have an awesome day. And if you guys haven't had a chance, make sure you subscribe to the channel and listen in for some great information from all the people that we interview. So thank you very much again for listening. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Till next time.
Bye-bye. Guys, have a great day.
You
too. And I'll get in touch with you again soon, Sharon, because definitely would like to get some of that skincare stuff because like I said, I believe it's
I've got your information, so we'll talk more about it and I'll fill you in on all the
message me, send me some information, and I'd love to
I appreciate
order
that.
things.
Absolutely. I would love to.
Okay. That'd be terrific. All right, take care, guys.
Well, before we go,
yes,
I'd like to acknowledge Master Rabarik Kimpo down in Guatemala. Hello, sir. Thank you for coming.
I noticed that he popped on a little later.
It's the time. It's the time difference. He doesn't.
It's a time difference in the language barrier.
Right.
He doesn't have his translator with him. His granddaughter or daughter, I believe.
Right. Well, anyway, he's got a good thing going on down there. I just wanted to give him a nod.
Yes.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much. Sharon's an honor to meet you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Join us again next time.
Absolutely.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.